You're about to uncover the one brutal truth that the fitness industry desperately doesn't want you to know about summer weight loss, because if you knew it, their entire business model would crumble overnight. Every summer, millions of people torture themselves with crash diets, expensive supplements, and punishing workout routines that leave them more frustrated and heavier than when they started. The influencers with their perfect abs tell you it's about discipline. The diet gurus promise you their revolutionary methods. The fitness companies sell you their latest gadgets. But they're all selling you the same lie wrapped in different packaging. The truth is so simple, so obvious that once you see it, you'll wonder how you ever fell for the nonsense in the first place. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to lose weight this summer without falling into the traps that keep everyone else spinning their wheels in misery. The biggest lie in fitness isn't that losing weight is easy, it's that losing weight is complicated. Right now, as you're watching this, there are people spending hundreds of pounds on meal replacement shakes, signing up for boot camps that make military training look like a spa day, and downloading apps that track every morsel of food like they're preparing for a NASA mission. They're all doing the same thing you've probably done. Treating weight loss like it's rocket science when it's actually primary school maths. Picture this. You're standing in front of your bathroom mirror on a Monday morning, pinching the soft flesh around your waist, promising yourself that this time will be different. This time you'll stick to the plan. You've just downloaded the latest fitness app that promises to hack your metabolism, and you're already planning your first week of 5 a.m. gym sessions. The voice in your head is pumping you up. This is it. This is when everything changes. You can practically see yourself in August, bronzed and lean, posting those transformation photos that get hundreds of likes. But here's what's really happening in that moment. You're setting yourself up for the same cycle of failure that's kept you trapped for years. You're not preparing for success. You're preparing for the inevitable crash that comes when reality hits your fantasy head-on. Because the truth is, you already know how to lose weight. You've always known. Your body isn't broken. Your metabolism isn't damaged. You don't have special genetics that make weight loss impossible. You simply refuse to accept that the solution is unglamorous, uncomfortable, and requires you to do things you don't want to do for longer than you want to do them. The fitness industry has convinced you that there's some secret combination of superfoods, workout timing, and supplementation that will unlock effortless weight loss. They've made you believe that thin people have some special knowledge or genetic advantage that you lack. But walk into any successful weight loss story, strip away all the Instagram-worthy meals and carefully staged gym photos, and you'll find the same boring truth. They ate less food than their body burned consistently for months. That's it. No magic. No hacks. No revolutionary breakthroughs. Every time you complicate it beyond that simple equation, you're not being scientific or thorough, you're procrastinating. You're looking for reasons to delay taking action because deep down, you know what needs to happen and you're terrified of how much it's going to suck. So you research the perfect macronutrient ratios, debate whether you should do cardio before or after weights, and spend hours watching videos about the optimal timing for intermittent fasting. All while your body stays exactly the same because research isn't action, and planning isn't doing. The hardest pill to swallow is this. You don't lose weight because you don't actually want it badly enough. Not yet. You want the results of weight loss, the confidence, the clothes, the attention, the health benefits. But you don't want weight loss itself, which is months of being hungry, saying no to things you enjoy, and choosing discomfort over pleasure hundreds of times per day. You want the destination without the journey, and that's why you keep looking for shortcuts that don't exist. Summer doesn't just expose your body, it exposes your excuses. Every other season you can hide behind layers of clothing, telling yourself you'll deal with it later. But summer strips away that comfort blanket, literally and figuratively. Suddenly you're faced with pool parties, beach holidays, and sleeveless tops that reveal what months of "I'll start tomorrow" have actually accomplished. The panic sets in, and that's when you become the fitness industry's perfect prey. You're scrolling through social media and every post feels like a personal attack. There's your mate from uni posting bikini photos from Ibiza, looking exactly the same as she did 5 years ago. There's that fitness influencer you follow, casually mentioning her little 20-minute morning routine that somehow maintains her impossibly flat stomach. And there you are, trying to find the perfect angle and lighting to take a photo that doesn't make you want to delete it immediately. The voice in your head starts its familiar chant, "Everyone else has it figured out. What's wrong with me?" Here's what's actually happening. You're comparing your behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reel, and it's making you desperate. Desperation makes you stupid. When you're desperate, you'll believe anything that promises quick results. You'll convince yourself that this time the juice cleanse will work. This time the fat-burning pills will be different. This time you'll actually stick to eating nothing but grilled chicken and broccoli for the next 8 weeks. But let's get brutally honest about what summer weight loss really means. It means accepting that you're going to feel hungry while your friends are enjoying ice cream on the beach. It means ordering a salad at the barbecue while everyone else is piling their plates with burgers and potato salad. It means saying no to the third round of drinks when the sun is setting and the music is perfect and everyone's having the time of their lives. It means choosing to be slightly miserable in the short term so you can be genuinely happy in the long term. The problem isn't that you don't know this. The problem is that you keep hoping there's another way. You keep believing that somewhere out there is a method that will let you lose weight without feeling like you're losing weight. But weight loss, real weight loss, feels like loss. It feels like deprivation. It feels like punishment. Because in many ways that's exactly what it is. You're punishing your body for the choices you've made, and your body is going to fight back with hunger, cravings, and a metabolism that slows down to conserve energy. The fitness industry has convinced you that weight loss should feel empowering and energizing. They show you people jumping out of bed at 5 a.m., thrilled to drink their green smoothie and hit the gym. But that's not how it works for most people, especially at the beginning. Real weight loss feels like dragging yourself through quicksand. It feels like fighting a battle where your own body is the enemy. It feels like being hungry, tired, and irritable while everyone around you seems to be having more fun. And here's the part that no one tells you. That's completely normal. You're not failing because it's hard because you're succeeding. Every time you feel hungry and don't eat, you're winning. Every time you want to skip the gym and go anyway, you're winning. Every time you choose the boring, healthy option over the delicious, destructive one, you're winning. But it doesn't feel like winning because our culture has taught us that anything worthwhile should feel good immediately. The truth is, summer weight loss is about becoming comfortable with discomfort. It's about learning to sit with hunger without panicking. It's about accepting that you're going to feel left out sometimes, that you're going to miss out on some experiences, that you're going to have to explain your choices to people who don't understand them. Most people aren't willing to pay that price, which is why most people never get the results they claim to want. The method that actually works isn't sexy. It won't get you millions of followers or sell supplements. It's so boring that most people will dismiss it before they even try it. But here's what the successful people, the ones who actually keep the weight off, not just the ones posing for before and after photos, have figured out. Sustainable weight loss is about building systems, not chasing motivation. Imagine you're sitting across from someone who's maintained a healthy weight for the past 5 years. Not someone who lost 30 pounds for a photo shoot, but someone who quietly, consistently, lives in a body they're comfortable with. Ask them about their secret, and they won't tell you about a revolutionary workout or a magical superfood. They'll tell you about the sandwich they didn't eat last Tuesday, the gym session they did on the day they really didn't want to, the habit of weighing themselves every morning, not as punishment but as data. Here's the unglamorous truth. Successful weight loss is about becoming the type of person who makes slightly better choices, consistently, when no one is watching and no one cares. It's not about the dramatic gesture of throwing away all your junk food or the Instagram-worthy meal prep session. It's about the Tuesday evening when you're tired and stressed and the voice in your head is screaming for takeaway, and you make a boring chicken salad instead. That moment, repeated hundreds of times, is what actually changes your body. But your brain hates this approach because it's not dramatic enough. Your brain wants the big moment, the transformation montage, the clear before and after story. Your brain wants to believe that real change happens in a burst of motivation and determination. So you keep waiting for the perfect moment to start. When you have more time, when work is less stressful, when you bought all the right equipment, when you feel truly ready. But here's what you're really waiting for. You're waiting to become a different person who doesn't struggle with these choices. You're waiting for motivation that never comes. The people who succeed don't wait for motivation. They act despite its absence. They've learned that motivation is a fair-weather friend who shows up when things are easy and disappears the moment things get difficult. They've learned that discipline isn't a feeling, it's a practice. Every single day they practice choosing the harder option when it aligns with their goals. Not because they want to, but because they've decided that their future self is more important than their present comfort. This is where most people fail. They try to change everything at once. They create elaborate meal plans with foods they've never enjoyed, sign up for workout classes they've always hated, and expect their decades-old habits to transform overnight. Then, when they inevitably burn out after 2 weeks, they blame their lack of willpower instead of their unrealistic expectations. The truth is, willpower is a finite resource, and you've been trying to spend it like you have an unlimited supply. Real change happens in increments so small they feel almost pointless. It's drinking 1 extra glass of water per day. It's walking for 10 minutes after dinner. It's having 1 less biscuit with your tea. These changes are so minor that your brain doesn't resist them, but over time they compound into something significant. The problem is, we live in a culture that worships dramatic transformation, so these tiny improvements feel like failure even when they're actually success. The harsh reality is that most people would rather fail dramatically than succeed gradually. They'd rather have the story of the month they tried really hard and almost made it than the boring reality of being slightly better every day for a year. They'd rather have the excuse that they don't have time for 2-hour gym sessions than admit they won't commit to 20-minute walks. They'd rather blame their genetics, their age, their circumstances, anything except the daily choices that got them where they are. Here's what summer weight loss actually looks like for people who make it work. They start in March, not June. They make changes so small that their friends don't even notice. They track their food, not obsessively but consistently enough to stay aware. They move their bodies regularly, not with punishing workouts, but with activities they can actually maintain. They accept that progress is slow, non-linear, and often invisible to others. And most importantly, they make peace with the fact that maintenance is forever. There's no finish line where you get to go back to your old habits. The most brutal truth about summer weight loss isn't that it's hard. It's that most of you won't do it. Right now you're nodding along thinking, yes, this makes sense, this is different, this time I'll actually follow through. But statistically you won't. And the reason you won't isn't because you lack information or motivation or even ability. You won't do it because you've built an identity around being someone who struggles with weight, and changing your body would mean destroying that identity. Think about it. How much of your conversation with friends revolves around complaining about your weight? How often do you bond with others over shared frustration about diets that don't work and bodies that won't cooperate? How many of your problems do you attribute, consciously or unconsciously, to your weight? I'd be more confident if I were thinner. I'd date more if I lost weight. I'd be happier if I could fit into those clothes. Your weight has become a convenient explanation for everything that's not quite right in your life. But here's the terrifying possibility. What if you lost the weight and you still weren't confident? What if you got the body you wanted and you still didn't feel attractive? What if you reached your goal weight and you still weren't happy? Then you'd have to face the uncomfortable truth that your weight was never the real problem. It was just the easiest thing to blame. And that possibility is so frightening that part of you would rather stay overweight than risk discovering that thinness isn't the magic solution you've been telling yourself it is. This is why you sabotage yourself just when things start working. This is why you can stick to a diet for weeks and then mysteriously fall off the wagon just as you're seeing results. This is why you find excuses to skip the gym right when exercise is becoming a habit. Your conscious mind wants to lose weight, but your unconscious mind is terrified of what that would mean for your carefully constructed story about why your life isn't exactly what you want it to be. The people who successfully lose weight and keep it off aren't the ones with the most willpower or the best genetics. They're the ones willing to face the possibility that losing weight won't fix everything. They're willing to discover that a smaller body doesn't automatically come with bigger confidence. They're willing to lose weight and still have problems, still have insecurities, still have days when they don't like what they see in the mirror. They're willing to do the work without the guarantee that it will transform their entire existence. Here's what they understand that you don't. Losing weight is not about becoming a different person. It's about becoming more yourself. It's about stripping away the layers of excuses and stories and victim narratives until you're left with the raw truth of who you are when you follow through on your commitments. It's about discovering that you're capable of doing things you don't want to do, of keeping promises you make to yourself, of choosing long-term satisfaction over immediate gratification. The weight loss is almost secondary to that revelation. But most people aren't ready for that level of self-discovery. They want the physical transformation without the psychological one. They want to look different without having to be different. They want all the benefits of discipline without actually having to become disciplined. And that's why they stay stuck, cycling through the same patterns, blaming everything except the one thing they have complete control over, their daily choices. Summer will come and go. You'll either spend it making excuses about why this isn't the right time to start, or you'll spend it doing the unglamorous work of eating less food than you want and moving more than you feel like. You'll either spend it researching the perfect plan that you'll never execute, or you'll spend it imperfectly executing a plan that's good enough. You'll either spend it talking about what you're going to do, or you'll spend it quietly doing it. The harsh reality is that your body doesn't care about your excuses, your circumstances, or your feelings. It responds to your actions, period. It doesn't care if you had a stressful day, if you didn't sleep well, if you're dealing with difficult people. It doesn't care if the weather is bad, if healthy food is expensive, if the gym is crowded. It doesn't care about any of the stories you tell yourself about why today isn't the right day to make better choices. Your body is a machine that responds to input. Feed it less and it gets smaller. Feed it more and it gets bigger. Everything else is just noise. You don't get the body you want by wanting it. You don't get the body you deserve by deserving it. You get the body you consistently earn through the accumulated weight of thousands of small decisions that no one else will ever know about. You earn it in the moments when you're tired, stressed, and emotional, and you make the harder choice anyway. You earn it when it's inconvenient, uncomfortable, and completely unrewarding. You earn it when no one is watching, no one is cheering, and no one cares. The question isn't whether you can lose weight this summer. The question is whether you're finally ready to stop being someone who talks about losing weight and start being someone who actually does it. Because those are two completely different people and you can't be both. You don't become ready by waiting. You become ready by never needing to be ready again.